What's happening, my good people? What's happening? It's late night, but everybody loves Juju. 1, 2 talks hoops. I'm your host, Juju. I just saw this earlier today. I meant to kind of do a little something on this. I don't know how many of you want to join in, and just have a discussion. I was just curious about my chat fam. Of what they may think of the women's bracketology of 2025 that just came out recently. I'm gonna lay this here. Maybe you can watch it later. Maybe if someone happens to be scrolling by on the internet, they may stop through. And if you are stopping through for the first time, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button for more here in the cave with Everyone Loves Juju 1212. You probably see me in and about and around on Threads and Instagram and on Facebook, sometimes on Twitter. Trying to get in this YouTube game. I talk a lot on I'm a supporter and a fan of USC women's basketball, and I when the games are on, I do a live chat and talk with my fam who are interested in the USC Trojans, or they just like hoops in general. But whatever the case is, I'm a former basketball player myself. I'm also a track star. I did 2 sports in college, so I know a little something. And I've been a fan since I was a real young buck, so I know a little something. So anyway, moving forward, right now I'm going to tell you about the Women's Bracketology 2025 NCAA Tournament. It was updated January 28th at 11:55 a.m. It brings the arrival of and a shift to conference play and the beginning of the sprint to March. That's where we are. And basically, tomorrow is the 30th of February. It's about 7. Every conference got about 7 to 8 games. USC Trojans, because of the cancellation of Northwestern, both USC and UCLA weren't able to play Northwestern University. I think that they are in last in the big conference, Big Ten. So we probably have to do a makeup game. They haven't made that announcement. So with the arrival of the 2025 brings a shift to conference play and the beginning of the sprint to March. Bracketology now moves to twice weekly updates, usually Tuesday and Thursday. So it'll probably be I guess another one maybe. I believe it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Fridays. So another one will come on Friday, and I'll come back with the projections every Tuesday and Friday. Automatic bids now total 31 as we continue to count down to Selection Sunday on March 16th. Can't wait for that. Bracket Watch. Top overall seed is the UCLA Bruins. First team out, Princeton. Last team in, Washington Huskies. Tennessee again fell victim to a bracket procedure that required the Lady Vols to fall to a number 6 seed, but at number 19 overall, they are still knocking on the door for a spot in the top 16 and the right to host early round games. The bubble lacks drama, but there's plenty around the teams vying for the top 16. Alabama, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt are also in the mix. I kind of agree with that. And the SEC. I kind of agree with this top 16. Alabama, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt. I'm not sure about where I see Ole Miss, but I do see Vanderbilt, who just recently cracked the top 25. I do kind of feel that they could do at least make the top 16. The SEC regular season race tournament might hold key to the hosting the first and second round NCAA tournament games. Spot number 16 has shifted hands each of the past 3 weeks from the Lady Vows to the Crimson Tide, now back to North Carolina State. Michigan State has climbed to number 17. Now, Michigan State is a team in the Big Ten that the USC Trojans and UCLA have not played yet. I've seen Michigan State a couple of times. They seem like a pretty solid team that with size and, real grit that could try to catch something. And they've climbed to the number 17 overall and might get to a top 16 for the first time since 2016 if Maryland Terrapins continue to slide. And what that means is with Cyan Sellers, I think she's on limited minutes, and McDaniel, one of their players who are ACL guard, who was pretty shifty, pretty tough on defense. It seems like Sellers and Smeckles is carrying the load. They had a game tonight. They won. Pretty good game. Smeckles was high scorer. So between the two of them and the other players on Maryland and a great coach in Brenda Freeze, if they continue to slide, I would slide Michigan State in there as well. The toughest part of the Terps' schedule arrived just as injuries began to mount, resulting in 3 straight losses to 2 top 10 teams. And that's what's probably keeping Maryland in the mix, is because they actually lost to top teams. They didn't drop a loss to an unranked team. The Terps once looked like a lock-in in the top 16, but now might not host. That brings us back to Tennessee, which remains in the hunt despite losing 5 of its past 7 games. All top 15 teams and by an average of 3 points. And that's true. Tennessee, although they have dropped some games, they usually have dropped them by 3 points on average. You average it out, and they played a lot of top 15 teams. So shout out to the Lady Vows. Eventually, they will need to beat a quality opponent. With 5 more quad win games in their regular season, the opportunity is still there. Shout out to Lady Vows. On the bubble, last 4 byes: Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Harvard. And as we know, Harvard has a dynamic senior guard, Harmony Turner. Last 4 in: Iowa, Iowa State, Virginia Tech, and Washington. I kind of like Washington. I think they have a player named Saya Rivers or something like that. She seems pretty solid. And as we all know, Iowa State has Audie Crooks. Audie Crooks is in the, she's probably going to be an All-American. And I predict in the 2027 draft that Audie Crooks will go high in the draft. So it's all up to her what she can do with this team in the tournament. 4 out: Princeton, St. Joseph, Arizona, George Mason. And I hate that Arizona and Adia Barnes' Arizona team would be the first 4 out because I really like Jada Williams over there at the guard spot. Next 4 out: Belmont, Colorado, Stanford, and Texas A&M. Again, Nuna will be a high draft pick out of Stanford when it's her turn to come through in her draft. Texas A&M, Joni Taylor, and Colorado, I have not watched this year, and Belmont, I have not watched this year. 68 team bracket. Moved up, moved down, new team 2 bracket on automatic qualifiers. There they are: Texas A&M, NC, A&T, Iowa, Iowa State, Longwood, Woodford, Washington, and Virginia Tech. Now, here are the brackets. And as you can see, out of Region 1, Spokane and Los Angeles, UCLA will probably be hosting at the regionals here: UCLA, Texas Southern, Mississippi State, and Oregon. Region 2, South Carolina, along with Woodford or Florida State, Nebraska. I'm just going to read them through. Norman, Cal Bears, UNLV, Oklahoma, Grand Canyon. I think there might be a little upset. Obviously, the top ones over there, Los Angeles and Columbia, South Carolina got that. UCLA has that. California, UNLV, Oklahoma, and Grand Canyon. I'm going to take California out of that. Cal Bears, Michigan State, Fairfield, North Carolina State, and Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast is a pretty tough team. USC played them in that first playoff last year. They were tough. I think they played them. Did they play them in the tournament? But we played them last year. They've always been really tough teams. I would take Michigan State at that one because I believe in them. Chapel Hill, West Virginia, Middle Tennessee, um, North Carolina, and SC Louisiana. I really like North Carolina, so that's gonna. I think West Virginia and North Carolina are gonna play each other. I would probably I want to say I should take. I probably the other night when I did this other morning, I said West Virginia, but I think I might take North Carolina on that. In Columbus, you got Tennessee, Columbia, Ohio State, and Montana State. I think Tennessee and Ohio State will wind up playing one another, and with all the tough games and margins of 3 or less, and I've seen how deep they were and how they were you know they were stacked with juniors and seniors. I'm gonna go with Tennessee over Ohio State. Utah, Richmond, Texas, Fairleigh Dickinson. Utah, Richmond, Texas, Fairleigh Dickinson. All year long, Richmond was in the net rankings for a reason, right? So I'm going to go with Richmond against Texas, with Texas being a winner. Fort Worth has Michigan, Harvard, TCU, and Albany. I really like Silosaurus, Olsen, and Holloway over there. Like the coach in Michigan. I think they're just so young right now, but I think they're gonna come out against Harvard and Harmony Turner to play TCU, who will probably beat Albany. So I'm gonna go with Michigan facing TCU, with TCU being a winner. I'm gonna slide down here to Region 3. Over here to the right, Notre Dame against Eastern Illinois, Creighton over Indiana. I'm going to take Creighton facing Notre Dame. To the left, I'm going to go USC, Long Beach, Louisville, South Dakota. In that whole bracket, I got USC. USC will then probably face Indiana, Notre Dame, excuse me. And now either we can stop right here when I guess, does it go like that? No, I don't think we drop down and play Notre Dame. I think we drop down and then play face whoever is between Georgia Tech, UTSA, Kentucky, and Murray State. I think the game between Georgia Tech and Kentucky is going to be up in the air with Kenny Brooks, and Georgia Amore. Track, good team, strong team. Georgia Tech, I've been believing in all year long. So either USC is going to have to face Kentucky or Georgia Tech. I'll take. I don't know if Georgia Amore is going to want to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with Kentucky, so we'll play Kentucky. And over here, Alabama, Ball State, Maryland, James Madison. As much as Maryland has, tried to weather the storm, it's going to come down to Alabama facing Maryland. I don't know if Maryland's going to have enough to cook. Alabama might want to be in the midst to play someone like a Notre Dame or something. You feel me? So that's gonna be a really, really interesting game. But Cheyenne Sellers and Smeckles might just hold on. Cheyenne should be healthy by then. I'll go with Maryland. Maryland, possibly what would they be doing? I guess will they be facing Notre Dame yet, or does it go? Let's go over here to Ole Miss, Iowa State, Duke. It's gonna come down to Ole Miss playing Duke, and Duke, I think will get that. Vanderbilt's gonna win that, in my opinion, against Washington and Virginia Tech, Kansas State, and it'll be Vanderbilt and Kansas State, Baylor, Illinois, UConn, and Lehigh. So I'm gonna go with out of that whole bracket right there, I'll take Baylor. Baylor playing Duke. Oklahoma State, I like that team. I saw that team the other night. Minnesota, LSU. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State playing LSU, with LSU coming out the victor. That's where I am right there. I'm not gonna take it all the way up to who faces what out of all these, but I'm gonna stop it right there. Because at the end of the day, out of all of those things, all of those teams that I just mentioned, I'm going to give the nod to the Final Four. What's up, Jacob? Thank you for hanging in there with me. I just wanted to come on briefly and just kind of talk about the bracketologies, lay that down, and if anyone wants to, open it up, whether it be today or tomorrow, that if they view this, at the end of the day, out of all of those that I just mentioned, my favorites for the Final Four at the moment, as of today, will be UCLA and South Carolina, Notre Dame, and Southern Cal. That's my choice, and I'm sticking with it until otherwise it changes. Jacob, before I close out, who you got in the Final Four women 2025? Who you got? Who you got this year? If you're still with me, put your favorites down. If you're still with me, who do you got in the Final Four? Who you got in the Final Four? If you're still with me, hit the like, put in who you got in the Final Four. Even after I end this video, if you catch this video, like, subscribe, and comment in the box. Tell me who you have in the 2025 NCAA Women's Basketball Final Four. And I'm gonna pose that question here. Leave a comment, please. Like and subscribe. Come back. Let's take a look at it. I jumped on spontaneously. I didn't give anybody a warning. Hit the like, follow, and subscribe, and we can have a conversation about this later. I came on. If you missed it, I put up the bracketology slide. I added to it again. It's probably really hard to read up. And as of today, they're going to bring out the bracketology every Tuesday and Friday moving forward. February is going to be a heavy month leading into March, into selection Sunday, March 16th, as to who will be hosting and stuff and things like that, and who we will be facing and lining up with along the way. So I'm going to ask my some hands in the chat. Even after I end this video, leave a comment, like, follow, subscribe, and tell me who do you have for the NCAA Women's Basketball 2025 Final Four. Who is the favorite for the Final Four in your eyes, and who do you see winning it, the Final Four? At the end of the day, leave your comment. I'll make a comment even afterwards, and that should be great. I just want to know what you guys got, who you all see along the way. You can even mention, if you want to mention, who's the top 16, who's going to go to the Sweet 16, who's going to make Elite 8, who's going to make Final Four, and ultimately, who is your choice for the winner. And maybe we'll come back to this video at another date. And if you join my video, we can have a discussion about this with others at a different time, possibly Friday, when the new bracketologies come out, and we'll see where everybody's at that time. Okay, guys? Join me tomorrow night, evening, wherever you're at, for the USC women Lady Trojans will be playing host to Minnesota tomorrow night. After a long road trip playing Indiana or Purdue, we'll be at the Galen Center tomorrow. Join me right here on Everybody Loves Juju channel 1-2. Everybody Loves Juju 1-2 Talks Hoops. Join me here in the cave. Meet me here. I will set up a link to remind you. And when you see it, hit that notification button. Come back here and talk to me. Join me. Say hello. Don't be afraid. Come on back. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.